Wake up and welcome here, Funkit Pod 2023. The one, the only, still in the house, still complaining about stuff. And the one thing I pick on right now is the MMA Media. Because, hey, let's be honest, we haven't had a fight yet. We had the MMA Awards. I'm not done listening yet. I'm like the MMA Awards by MMA Fighting, Ariel Helwani and so on. I'm not done listening yet. I've seen some posts. But there's been like 3,000 awards that they gave out again, so I'm not done yet. And the one thing I felt like really talking about is just like how the MMA Media handled the Dana White situation. Because, like, I mean, and so Ariel said like his thing, and fine, that's personal for him and whatever, yeah. But he said that MMA Media, if you can't find media that's talking about it, then you're not looking closely enough. Yeah. But it also shows you that the mainstream, starting January, the new year with mainstream media bashing. The mainstream media, as well as the mainstream MMA media, is not talking about it. And that the fact that I have to follow like certain journalists that are not affiliated with ESPN or whatever to get some news is rather ridiculous, right? If this would have, and Ariel made the point himself, so like kind of refuting himself a little bit, like in this case, because if it would have happened in the NBA, NFL, whatever, in football, soccer for the Americans, in any league around the world, right? It would have been all over the news. It would have been on ESPN. It would have been on the normal mainstream news. And Ariel made the point himself. He said, yeah, well, it's because they don't take MMA seriously. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. And so the fact that the MMA Media takes itself seriously, as they should, but the fact that I, as a consumer, as a fan of the sport, would have to search for certain journalists that would cover MMA in a certain neutral way kind of sucks, right? So there's no major news outlet talking about it. If I haven't seen it, please do correct me. But there's obviously no Brett Okamoto, ESPN talking about it. Obviously not. There is. I haven't seen. There's no Mac Live talking about it. He never does like opinion pieces. But I think you guess where I'm going with this, right? There's none of the outlets that's usually in attendance at the pressers is talking about it. That's just ridiculous. And do I think like it's not even about like what I think? Do I think Dana White should get cancelled? Probably not. Like, I mean, second chances, blah blah. But it's just disappointing from a content creator's point of view, from a person that works in the media, from a person that teaches about ethics in the media. It's just really disappointing. It's not surprising, but it's disappointing. I think that's basically the gist of all of what I wanted to say about this. Because, of course, I understand why no one's talking about it. You want to keep getting invited to the pressers, get your preferential treatment. If you're nice to him now, he's going to thank you for it later. And I understand all those things, but on the other hand, and still like, isn't it kind of like your responsibility towards your audience to cover what is happening, to shine a light on what's happening? It's really sad / disappointing. Also sad / disappointing, while again, same arc here, not surprising is that of course no fighter comes out to say anything about it. Ex-fighters, retired fighters, like, oh God, I can't believe I'm quoting, or I'm not quoting, I'm referring to Jake Shields here of all people, but people like him, they come out and say something. They're like, yeah, that's who he is, we're not surprised, blah, blah. And again, I don't want to bash Dana White's personality, because I don't know him. Like, who knows? Maybe it was the alcohol, but still, if you're drunk, that's not an excuse, right? So that's what TMC try to do here, like giving him an excuse for that. Not saying that's okay. I'm just saying there's no active fighter saying anything, right? There's no active fighter from other promotions saying anything, because eventually they all want to work for the UFC again. They want to fight for them. They want to work for them, whatever, There's no podcast talking, like no major podcast talking about it. There's no Believe You Me talking about it, right? There's no, the DC is never going to mention that, obviously. There's none of the people that are making a living out of MMA content. Oh God! And no, it's not an Ariel Helwani fan thingy here, except Ariel, because that ship has sailed. Obviously, there's no one else is talking about it, which is just annoying. Which is just really annoying. And yeah, the joke that he's promoting slap fighting is kind of funny for a second, and also only funny because it looks like the wife was okay, like hopefully, right? But then again, I mean, the fact that he himself was like lashing out on people that laid hands on wives / girlfriends and so on, which is right, it's just kind of ridiculous that it now comes back to him. And again, I'm not talking about what I think should happen to Dana White. I'm talking about like how the media is covering this, the MMA media as well as general sports / just the media. There's nothing out there. I learned about it via meme pages on Instagram. And then had to look up what happened. Like what? Disappointing. But let me know, and I'm sorry for starting the new year like this, but let me know what you think. Am I overreacting again? Do you think like, yeah, the MMA media should cover fights and fights only, and it's not their space to I don't know, have like detailed pieces on things like this? But should the normal mainstream media talk about it? Like in basketball, football, soccer, in any other sports, this would be mainstream news, right? I even thought for a second that Dylan Dennis canceling the fight is because they told him cancel the fight so people hate on you and not on Dana White. That's how far my conspiracy theory goes. But yeah, let me know what you think, right? So overreacting, do you agree? Do you disagree? I want to say I promise, but right now with the developments I can't, but I'm trying for the next MMA Monday or the next MMA take here on the Funkit Pod. I'm gonna try to be more positive and look ahead into a hopefully promising 2023. Let me know your thoughts at FunkitPod on social media, funkitpod@gmail.com. Like, share, subscribe, rate this thing so we can reach a bigger audience and have more opinions on all those things that we're interested in. Until then, stay safe, take care, keep your guard up. Sawadee Krap.